Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sean, sometimes known as the Beast, and I've got some black metal to show you. It's been getting quite a lot of spins recently. If there's anything you're interested, as always, the YouTube stuff, like, comment, share, tell your friends, subscribe and all that nonsense. Yeah, so 4 black metal releases of varying should we say styles of black metal or examples of black metal. Anyway, first up is the mighty Warhammer 666 and his 4th EP release, Archaic Brutality Volume 1. Now I was fortunate enough to receive this. Lee reached out to me and said, you know, as a way of thanks, I think more than anything else, for buying all his other stuff, would I like to get a copy of this prior to its release, which obviously I was absolutely definitely on the premise of would I let him know my thoughts on it. So obviously it was never going to be an issue of that. So when I first received this, even though I was sworn to secrecy not to mention it, yeah, I absolutely played the granny out of it, and probably even more so because of the fact that firstly I'd been sent it by Lee, and secondly and more importantly, I wanted to give my opinions of how I saw it as a release to Lee, which is what he wanted, because he said he'd gone for something slightly different. I like the fact that the CD is made to look like an old, you know, them vinyl things that some of us collect. Yeah, so I did actually listen to it, like I say, quite a lot, and then I contacted Lee and gave him my thoughts. When Lee then explained to me what changes, subtle changes he'd made himself and what he was trying to achieve, I went back and listened to it even more, and again, knowing Lee went into a little bit of technical stuff that was a bit above my my non-musician capabilities, but then I could sort of listen more specifically to the certain things that Lee had mentioned. And what I've said, same as with, you know, I sort of praise him highly all the time because everything he's released I'm a massive fan of. Again, on this one I thought it sounded slightly fuller than some of the other releases, but still had that like abrasive quality. The guitars and the drumming is very much like almost not crisper, crisper's the wrong word, but sort of maybe a little bit more like stripped back, maybe. Is that the right word? I'm not really sure. Again, I'm probably not giving it the best description. Obviously, like I said, Lee sent me the CD version, but when I saw that he was releasing it on cassette on his socials, as soon as I saw this I thought, yeah, there's something about the whole aesthetic of it that I needed to have this as well, so I was more than happy to send for it. It's on a red shell with obviously the name and stuff on that side. The J card is very simple but extremely effective. This sort of this is a perfect visual representation of the music inside it. I got number 21 or 25. To be honest, I haven't actually played the cassette version of it yet. As always with Warhammer 666, we get the obligatory sticker, and there was actually a printed lyric sheet that came with the cassette. But yeah, so going back to the actual music, this is very much undiluted, raw, There's no gimmicks to it or anything like that. Black metal. Personally, I think Lee's got one of the best black metal voices around. And again, on this, it's so full of like turmoil and anger, spiteful to a degree. But yeah, absolutely superb release, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Volume 2 brings when he does finally release it. But yeah, like with all of the Warhammer 666 stuff, I just think it's top notch, an absolutely superb release. So first one is Warhammer 666 and Archaic Brutality Volume 1. Those down there. Now next up is, I showed this band on my last black metal update, and it was their newest album, and quite a lot of people in the comments said about how the earlier stuff was quite a lot different to what I showed. So I was fortunate enough to find this in, well, I'll say Beatdown Records again because you know that's pretty much the only record shop I ever go in. This is Lord Belial, and it's called The Wrath of Belial, not to be mistaken with the band Wrath of Belial, by the way. And what it is, this is a compilation of the first two demos, The Art of Dying, and that was in 93, yeah, 1993, and Into the Frozen Shadows from 1994. Now, the first demo, The Art of Dying, is very much still death metal infused. It's certainly got tropes of black metal. You can see where the little changes, like some of the drum patterns and stuff. But a lot of it is very much still firmly in the death metal camp, as far as I'm concerned. I would suggest, if you're a fan of death metal who does maybe dip the toe into black metal, if you give The Art of Dying a listen, you might be surprised. It's a really, really good. It's got that sort of, it's demo quality, slightly better than average demo quality, I would say. A little bit muddy. The vocals are quite almost growled, akin to, like, you know, what you would expect from a death metal album back in 93. But yeah, I mean, he's got riffs and hooks for days. You know, it's just a really, really solid release. We get the inner sheet with all the blurt and such like on that side, and the lyrical content on that side. This is on black wax, and as I said, when I went into Beatdown Records and saw it there, it was like a, well, you know, instant purchase type thing, just because of the two demos. Now, the second demo, Into the Frozen Shadows, that is very much, that's got more of what I expected from Lord Belial. It's like a rawer, a very much less cooked version of what they're releasing now. There is still a couple of death metal nuances in there, with some of the phrasing and such like, but there's a lot more of what you would expect a black metal record to sound like. Really, really good. The vocals are a little bit more, a bit gruff, a bit more savage almost. The drumming on this, what's it called? Into the Frozen Shadow. The drumming on that is a lot better. It's you can see just in the space of a year, this group of lads have got more comfortable with their instrumentation. They've certainly got better at the craft, at the songwriting, but mostly I would say you can tell that they know which direction they're heading in musically, and they're more than happy to you know, like, to bang it out onto a demo. Again, considering it is a demo, the production on it's really, really good. It's quite quite a full production sound. But yeah, so if you're in the mood for some early black metal that is still got a cloven hoof firmly in the death metal camp, then you wouldn't go far wrong with Lord Belial's The Wrath of Belial. Like I said, there is a band actually called The Wrath of Belial. I haven't heard them, I just didn't even know they existed, to be honest, so I was doing some research for this. But yeah, cracking little compilation of the first 2 demos. So, next up is something which is undoubtedly 100,000% black metal, and it's amazing. This is Harvest. The album is called, and I'm going to have to read it, Bend Thy Knee and Present Thy Throat to a Burning Sword of a Dark Age. This came out in 2021. This version is on Iron Bonehead Productions. This is black metal from Australia. This features Asgore, the gentleman who is responsible for the incredible Drowning the Light. Now, this is 100% raw, lo-fi black metal, and full honesty, 6 months ago this would have scared me shitless. I wouldn't have understood anything about it. I would have just been, what the, I just don't get it. And now, because of this like journey into black metal that I'm heavily involved in now, this is absolutely top notch. It's very, very raw. It's very, very savage. It's got that lo-fi black metal sound. It's quite it's got quite an old school sound to it, even though it came out in, when did I say, 2021. But again, there's no like fannying around. There's no bullshit. There's no nonsense. This is just somebody who knows exactly what he's trying to put out. I would say it's slightly different to Drowning the Light in the fact of just how raw and melancholic it is. Absolutely, it's an incredible release. I have actually got another couple of his on CD, which hopefully I will be able to exchange for vinyl versions. It's unlikely, to be honest, because it's quite difficult to get over here. But I have got my fingers crossed, hoping to find them. But yeah, I actually bought this in from Misako Noho, and I believe, I might be wrong price wise, but I think it was only something along the lines of £16, so it was worth putting a punt on when you think they probably charge that much nowadays for a CD in most of the certain high street music retailers. But yeah, this is just absolutely wonderful. I've spun the absolute twat out of this because it's so it's quite disturbing, quite, like I say, melancholic, spiteful, quite angry, but it's just superb. It's, again, it's one of those ones where you sort of run out of superlatives for it and you don't want to keep repeating yourself. But yeah, Harvest and Bend Thy Knee and Present Thy Throat to a Burning Sword of a Dark Age. I mean, great title as well. But yeah, definitely not one for people who are not massive fans of black metal. And like I said, 6 months ago I wouldn't have been able to sit through this because I wouldn't have understood it, and it would have just been like, whoa, fucking hell, that's too much for me. But now I absolutely love it. So last up for this little update type thing, and what's been deafening in the neighbours this week, this is completely at the opposite end of the black metal scale to what Harvest was. This is the mighty Black Braid and the very imaginatively titled Black Braid even 3. Black Braid are from, is it the, did I write it down? Something, Adirondack Mountains. Easy for me to say. In, I believe that's in New York State or something like that. This is very much sort of Native American inspired black metal. This is very much guitar orientated. If you're a fan of guitars, then you'll absolutely love this. The artwork is absolutely stunning on the inside and the outside. Black Braid, it was Johnny Mack over at Rock and Metal Plus who first introduced me to Black Braid, and he said, you know, if you like when you're just getting into black metal, you'll really enjoy this. Inside it we get the track list in there, and cracking little piece of artwork. The one downside to this, it's a double album, but I will only show you one of the vinyls, is it's not black. But to be fair, I mean, it does match the colour scheme of the actual album cover. Yeah, this is very much, like I say, it's very much guitar orientated. It's got some absolutely wicked riffs and hooks. The vocals are quite, they're understandable. They are quite harsh and gruff. They're understandable. Certainly not screeched, or, you know, it's not. It's the polar opposite to Harvest, which is probably why I'm so engrossed in black metal at the moment, because I didn't realise how wide the genre was, and that's only, and I'm literally just tickling the tip of the iceberg with it. But yeah, this is the tracks are based on Native American mythology. There are acoustic interludes that have Native American instrumentation in them, and they sort of, it's like, well, we've smashed your face in with that last track and we've pummeled your ears. We'll just give you this little interlude just to get your breath back and sort of, you know, take a puff of your peace pipe, and then we're going to come back and smash your face in again. Now, this is actually an independent release, so the fact that it's not on a big record label and it's still presented like this is pretty impressive. I mean, the artwork's just superb. But yeah, this will undoubtedly end up making it in my end of year list. Not quite sure where, but yeah, absolutely quality record. He's not sort of, he hasn't branched out much from the previous two. You know, you sort of, you know what to expect. But he does his style of black metal very, very well. So yeah, so that's Black Braid with 2025 release Black Braid 3. So that's it for this one. Just a little bit of black metal that I thought you might be interested in. Please let me know in the comments if you know of any of these, and as always, especially with the rawer stuff like Harvest and Lord Belial, if there's anything that you think I should be checking out that's similar to that, please let me know. I'm tempted, the next video, I'm tempted to do one that's sort of, that's more doom and metal, like heavy metal rock type thing, because I have recently bought quite a lot. That's all down to Metal Marty Mark watching his channel, and with him being on his 80s metal kick and doom and such like. So yeah, I might flick through and show some of them for a change. Again, hopefully you'll have found something of interest. I think the last time I looked at the sub count it was 664, so you can guarantee I'll miss the fact when he gets to 666, if he gets to 666. So I won't be able to take a screenshot and pause and say, oh, look how many I got, aren't I clever? Anyway, regardless, if you've watched this far, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to sit and listen to me chat shit about stuff I don't really know much about. It's always a learning process. Look after one another, and just because I know Mark G will be watching this, and he's sarcastic ways. Enjoy whatever music you're listening to. Enjoy whatever genre of music you're listening to. And until next time, as always, cheers!